Son, have you been feeling lost, with fear and insecurity taking over your heart? Have you ever wondered where God is when everything seems to crumble around you? I want you to know that I am here, with you, and that nothing is out of my control. In this video, I will teach you 5 powerful lessons on how to trust in me, even in times of crisis. If you are seeking peace and direction, stay with me until the end. I will show you how, even in chaos, you can rest in my presence and find the confidence you so desperately need. Let's walk together. Lesson 1. I always walk with you. Trust in my presence. Son, I know that sometimes you feel lost. I know that fear and doubt whisper in your heart, making you believe you are alone. But I want you to hear this now. You are never alone. I am here. I have always been and always will be. As you go through the most difficult moments, I walk by your side. Even when you cannot see me, I hold your hand. It was like this with the disciples on the road to Emmaus. They were confused and hurt, not understanding the events. They thought everything was lost. But I walked with them in silence, listening to their pains and sharing in the journey. And at the right moment, when their eyes were opened, they realized that I had been there all along. That's what I do with you. When silence weighs heavily, when tears fall, I am there, drying each one of them. Even if you don't realize it, it's I who carries you on days of weakness, who whispers words of encouragement to your heart. Remember the night when Peter and the other disciples were in the boat, struggling against the storm. They were terrified, thinking the end was near. But I walked on the waters to them, and in the midst of chaos I declared, "It is I, do not be afraid." That's what I say to you now. I am the same who calmed the sea. I am the same who calms the storm in your soul. When fear comes, remember, I am with you. I will never abandon you. Just trust. Hold my hand and walk with me, for together we can overcome anything. Can you trust in me today? Lesson 2. You are not alone. Trust in my love for you. Son, I want you to know something very important. My love for you does not depend on who you are or what you do. It simply exists because that is how the Father sent me, to show how precious you are. I see your struggles. I know about the nights when sleep doesn't come because your mind is full of worries. I know about the days when you feel inadequate, as if the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And in each of those moments, I am there, watching you with a love that knows no limits. You do not need to carry everything alone. Think of my servant Elijah. He was a man of great faith, but even he had moments of deep sadness and loneliness. One time, after facing great challenges, he fled to the desert, exhausted and discouraged, wanting to give up on everything. However, even there, the Father sent an angel to feed him, strengthen him, and remind him that he was not alone. That's how I do with you. In moments when it seems that there is no strength left, I come to sustain you, to remind you that you have never been abandoned. Perhaps you ask, why me? Why do I have to face these difficulties? But I want you to know that everything you face has a purpose. My love for you is so deep that I would never allow something to happen to you without a greater meaning. You do not need to understand everything now. Just trust. When I carried that cross, every step I took was for you. Every drop of blood shed was out of love for you. Because I love you, and I want you to know that you will never be alone. I promised that I would be with you until the end of time, and that promise remains alive today. Now, look to me and trust in my love. Release the weight you are carrying and allow me to take care of you. You are loved beyond what you can imagine, and it is in my strength that you will find rest. Lesson 3. Trust in my power. I am greater than your storms. My child, I want you to look to me and see beyond the storms that are before you. I know that sometimes the wind seems too strong, the waves too high, and your heart feels like it can't bear it. But hear this. I am greater than any storm you face. Do you remember David, the young shepherd who faced the giant Goliath? In the eyes of the world, he had no chance. He was just a boy, without experience, without adequate weapons. But David did not look at the size of the giant. He looked at the size of the God who was with him. With unwavering confidence, he said, I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts. and with a simple stone, he brought down what seemed invincible. Just like David, I want you to look at the giants in your life with eyes of faith. The crises you face today are not greater than my power. I am the God who parted the sea for my people to pass safely. I am the God who brought life where there was death, who calmed the wind and the sea with just one word. Why do you fear? Do you not trust that I, who sustain the universe, can also sustain your life? Every hair on your head has been counted by me. Every tear you shed is precious in my eyes. There is no problem so great or situation so complicated that I cannot resolve. I do not promise that you will never face difficulties, but I assure you that with my strength you can overcome them. When you feel weak, that is when my power is manifested even greater. My grace is sufficient for you, and my power is perfected in your weakness. So, surrender your fears to me. Place before me what seems impossible and trust that I am capable. You do not need to fight alone. I am the God who fights for you. Lesson 4. Trust in my plan. My child, I know that it is not always easy to understand what I am doing in your life. There are moments when everything seems confusing, as if the pieces do not fit together. But I want you to trust. I see the bigger picture, while you only see a part. Every detail, every moment, is part of the plan I have for you. Remember Joseph, the son of Jacob. He was sold by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, and later taken as a slave to Egypt. For years, he lived through difficult situations, being unjustly accused and imprisoned. He could have thought that I had abandoned him, but Joseph remained faithful, believing that there was a greater purpose, and in due time, he understood. I made Joseph governor of Egypt, and he saved not only his family, but an entire nation from famine. So it is with you. I know that sometimes the challenges seem senseless. You may ask, why is this happening to me? Where is God in all this? But I am working behind the scenes, aligning everything for your good. What seems like pain and confusion today can turn into blessing and purpose. Trust in my timing. Answers do not always come immediately, but they come at the right moment. That is why I said, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. I want you to rest in me, knowing that every prayer of yours is heard, and that I have control over everything. While you wait, remember that my plan is always good. I promise that all things, even the most difficult, work together for the good of those who love me. And I want you to know, you are part of this plan. Today, you may not see the purpose of what you are facing, but trust that I am working for you. Keep walking in faith, even when the road is difficult. And believe this, in the end, you will see that it was all worth it, because I always do the best for you. Lesson 5. Find peace in me. Son, I know your soul longs for peace, especially in times of crisis. When the world around you seems chaotic, you seek tranquility, but it often feels unattainable. But I want you to know that I am the source of all peace. Not the peace the world offers, which is temporary and fragile, but a deep peace that transcends all understanding. Remember when you seek comfort and find yourself in moments of uncertainty,
where the weight of anguish feels greater than your strength. I remember Elijah, the prophet. After facing great opposition, he hid in a cave, fearful, afraid for his life. He was waiting for a sign, something grand to show that I was with him. But what he didn't expect was to hear my voice in a gentle whisper amidst the silence.
It was not in the strong wind, nor in the earthquake, nor in the fire that he found my presence, but in the gentle whisper. This is how, son, my peace comes to you. It is not in the tumult or the agitation that you will find rest, but in the quietness of your heart when you turn to me and let me speak gently to you. I want you to learn to find peace in the small things, in the silence of my presence, even when everything around you seems to be crumbling. When you cast your worries into my hands, I will give you the rest you so desire. This does not mean that the problems will disappear immediately, but that you will have the assurance of knowing that I am by your side, guiding you every step of the way. Let my peace envelop you. Trust that, even in the midst of the storm, I am your safe anchor. When fear arises, remember that I am with you, ready to calm your soul and restore your confidence. I am the peace you so seek. In me, you will find rest for your weary heart.